Good morning, grade 8 students. Today's lesson is 5C Grammar, Read to and Write. So please turn to your student book, page 65. We will work together to achieve the following objectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to identify the forms and uses of modal verbs through examples correctly, and recognize the uses of notes on notice boards without error. Our first part of the lesson is grammar, so let's begin. In the grammar part, we will be looking at the modal verbs and the uses of the modal verbs. So first, let's underline them in the following sentences. Pause the video, take a minute to identify them. Now let's do it together. You have to follow the traffic rules. Where is the modal verb here? Have to. Did you get that? Excellent. Number 2, you must do your homework. Where is the modal verb here? Must. Excellent. Number 3, you need to focus on your studies. You're doing a great job. Where is the modal verb here? Need to. Number 4, you don't have to arrive before 7 a.m. Where is the modal verb in this sentence? Don't have to. Number 5, you don't need to come in tomorrow. Don't need to is the modal verb. Did you get that? Number 6, you needn't worry about anything. Needn't is the modal verb in this sentence. And the last one, number 7, you mustn't speak during the lesson. The modal verb is mustn't. Good job. Now that we know what are the modal verbs, we will look into their uses. So please take out your notebook and let's learn about their differences. In the first two sentences, what do you notice about the uses of the modal verbs, have to and must? They're both used in affirmative sentences. You have to follow the traffic rules. You must do your homework. We use those modal verbs to show commitment and duty. Thus, you must know that we use them to express obligation. We use have to and must to express obligation. Here's another example. I have to buy a present for my friend, or I must buy a present for my friend. Please do not forget that we use have to when the subject is I, you, we, and they. On the other hand, we use has to when the subject is she, he, and it. In the case of expressing obligations in the past, we use had to. And to express obligations in the future, we use will have to. Here are some examples. She had to go back to the shop to return the items. They will have to complete all their assignments on Microsoft Teams. The third modal verb we're going to be looking at is need to. You need to focus on your studies. What do you notice about the use of the modal verb need to here? It is again used in an affirmative sentence. In this case, need to is a task that is required to happen. So, need to is used to express necessity. Need to is used to express what? It is used to express necessity. Another example could be, I need to talk to you now. It is necessary for us to speak. What do you notice about the modal verbs in sentences 4, 5, and 6? They are all used in negative sentences. Therefore, we use the modal verbs don't have to, doesn't have to, don't need to, doesn't need to, and needn't to express the lack of obligation and necessity. So there is no obligation or necessity at all. Another example is, we don't need to go out today, or we don't have to go out today. What do you notice about the last sentence? It is a negative sentence. You mustn't speak during the lesson. We use mustn't to show that something is forbidden. It is used to express prohibition, when something is not allowed at all. For example, you mustn't miss your prayers. Now let's practice and see if you understood and remember the different uses of modal verbs. Turn to your student book, page 65, and let's begin with exercise A. Read the examples below and notice the words in blue, then answer the questions. Number 1. I must or have to finish the project by Friday. Number 2. I need to speak to you now. Number 3. You mustn't use your phone during class. Number 4. We do not have to, do not need to, or needn't take the bus to school. Dad will drive us. Match the sentences with their uses. Which sentences expresses what? I will give you a minute to complete the exercise. Pause the video and do your best. Now, which sentence expresses the lack of obligation and necessity? Sentence 4. Good job. Which sentence expresses obligation? Sentence number 1. Excellent. Which sentence expresses necessity? The second sentence number 2. Brilliant. Now, which sentence expresses prohibition? Number 3. Very good job. Moving on to the next exercise. Make sure to read the examples and complete the rule. Again, pause to complete the exercise. Come back to check with me. Have to is used to express obligation. Which other two modal verbs did we say do the same? Must and need to. Great work. Don't forget that mustn't is used to express prohibition. Good job. Now, don't have to is used to express the lack of obligation and necessity. Which other two modal verbs are used to do the same? Don't need to and needn't. Wow, you've got it. Good job. Now that you understand the different uses of modal verbs, let's take some time to complete exercise C. Circle the correct option, pause and complete. Now, have you completed the exercise? Let's do this. Number 1, you be late for school. What's the correct answer? You mustn't be late to school. Mustn't is used for prohibition. Excellent. Good job. Now, number 2, you cook. We're having dinner at Alice's house tonight. You needn't cook. We are having dinner at Alice's house tonight. Here, needn't is used to express the lack of obligation and necessity. Good work. Number 3, you buy these comics. I'll lend you some of mine. You don't have to buy these comics. I'll lend you some of mine. We use don't have to show the lack of obligation and necessity. You are on the right track. Number 4, are your glasses new? Yes, I broke my old glasses, so buy new ones. So, I had to buy new ones. Here, we're showing obligation. Super. Number 5, I'm sorry, Mr. Ali isn't here. You'll call again tomorrow. You'll have to call again tomorrow. Have to is used to show, also to express obligation. You're really working hard today, aren't you? To practice more, how about completing the following multiple choice questions? We will check the answer together. Take a minute to understand the sentence and put in the appropriate modal verbs that fits in. Number 1, Tim is in a hurry. He be late for work. He mustn't be late for work. Keep up the good work. Number 2, you bring a picnic because there's a canteen where you can grab a bite. You don't have to bring a picnic because there's a canteen where you can grab a bite. Terrific. Number 3. My aunt called the doctor because she was sick. My aunt had to call a doctor because she was sick. That's the way to do it. Number 4. I'm sorry, but I will come back to set up your computer. I will have to come back to set up your new computer. Practice makes perfect. Number 5. To join the gym, you to pay £20. You need to pay £20. Right on. Our second part of the lesson is read and write. In this part, we will look at notes on notice boards. You will be able to write your own note by the end of this part. So turn your book to page 65 and read the notice and email below. Skim to tell me, why is Cullum emailing Jasper? Cullum had seen the notice about the lesson and wants to suggest that they should take photography lessons together. Now let's listen to the notice and email in order to answer the questions on the right. How often do the photography lessons take place? Do you have to bring your own camera? What time does the school finish? Will they have the same teacher this year?
5C. 4. Read 2. Photography lessons. Classes are every Tuesday and Thursday between 4:30 and 5:30 p.m. Lessons will be in room 23, but we will also spend some time in the computer lab editing photos. You don't need to bring your own camera, but there is a £2 charge for every lesson. Talk to Mr. Fraser to sign up.
Shall we take photography lessons again this year? School finishes at 4, so we can meet at 1:15 and go together. We'll only be able to make one lesson a week though, because we can't miss football practice on Tuesdays. Oh, and I know you thought Mr. Randall was a great teacher, but I'm sure the new one will be just as good.
Now after we scan the reading, how often do the photography lessons take place? Twice a week. Correct. Do you have to bring your own camera? No, you do not. What time does the school finish? At 4 o'clock. Will they have the same teacher this year? No, they will not. Fill out Jasper's note with the correct answer. Use the note and the email above to complete the blanks. What day are the photography lessons? Tuesday and Thursday. Where will it take place? Room 23 and computer lab. What are the students required to bring? £2. At what time will Jasper meet Cullum? At 4:15. Who should Jasper and Cullum speak to sign up? Mr. Fraser. Look at right, exercise A. What do you notice about the way the notes are written? Are they detailed and long? No. Notes are always short and they aren't in full sentences. So please read the notes below. What would you actually say if you were speaking to the person? I'll give you a minute to write down what Miriam actually wanted to say to Amal. Use full sentences. I hope you were able to write it. If Miriam was going to write in full sentences, she would have said, Amal, I'm going shopping with Noura. I'll be back in an hour. If you need anything, call me. Miriam. Did you get that? Good job. Okay, you've got it. What do you think Ned wanted to actually tell his mother? Take a minute again and check back with me. Ned would have said, Mom, I can't find you on your mobile. Dr. Clark is not free on Monday, but you can see her on Wednesday. Is that okay? You have to call her as soon as possible at this number. Ned. Here is another note. Look at the note and tell me what is Mom actually trying to say. You can do this. Take your time and don't forget, you need to write in full sentences. Mom is trying to say, Dear Fahad, there is food in the fridge. Please clean your room before I come back. Don't forget to pick up your brother from school. Love, Mom. We have come to the end of our lesson. I hope it was clear and easy to understand. You did a great job. Thank you for watching.